Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind Over Matter team call. Today is Wednesday, December 14th, and tonight I'm super excited that Francesca she's my success partner, and she's going to be joining us this evening. And so this team call is open to both of our teams this evening, and she's going to talk about vision and some goal setting, and I cannot wait to hear what she has to say to just kind of give some motivation and inspiration to both of our teams. So without further ado, Fran, you can kind of kick yourself off and share a little bit about yourself in case if everybody doesn't really know you. And yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. So I'm bundled up right now. This will probably come off as I get fired up and get talking. I'm already starting to heat up. You kind of feel nervous, like it's exciting. So a little bit about me. I started this journey about 1.5 years ago now. My year anniversary was in August, and I was a personal trainer, fitness instructor before. I worked at a physiotherapy clinic as a physio assistant, but I title myself as former lost girl, found purpose, because school was not for me, not at all. I hit it and quit it. I tried to get into the fastest program ever to just get the heck out of it. So I took a fast track course, which was for physio assistant. It was 11 months, so it wasn't even a year, because I did go to school prior to that, college. I dropped out after first semester, never ended up getting back into anything, yada, yada. I suck at studying. School's not for me because I hate being told what to do. If I don't want to do it, you try to tell me to do it, I'm going to do everything except that. So school was not for me. Started working at a physio clinic, but it was just over minimum wage. It was very low, and I didn't want to work at a hospital because that means I would be trapped in Windsor forever. And because who gives up a job working at the hospital, And I just wasn't ready to settle down. So I didn't want to go for that. Worked at the personal training gym, which I loved, and that's where I found my passion for fitness, but it's very hard to make a living being a personal trainer, and it's very taxing on your body because you can teach 10 classes a week and maybe you're getting $20 to $30 an hour, but it's still not enough. And you're not going to find somewhere that's going to let you teach 10 classes a week. It just doesn't happen. So I was I need to do something else. And I've always done Beachbody programs. We did hip hop abs, my mom and I, we did Turbo Jam. Insanity has always been in my life. And then I kind of had thought about being a coach because I'm wow, what's it all about? I don't really know. My sister had tried it in the past, but it didn't work for her, or she just quit it. And so I was well, I'm kind of interested in it. So I remember January 2015, I always write a New Year's resolution list, and I put on my list, become a Beachbody coach. And it took a while. It wasn't until August, but I was creeping Instagram and I found Amanda. And I found a post that she had done. She was on stage with Shaun T. So seriously, my main driving force was how does this girl get on stage with Shaun T? She looked around the same age as me. I'm she's from Canada. Who is this girl? So I reached out to her, and I actually reached out to Danielle Natoni at the very same time. I emailed them both because I saw Danielle was in Insanity, and I creeped her, and she's best friends with Shaun T, and I just wanted to get close to Shaun T. So I messaged them both, and Amanda's message just seemed more personal, whereas Danielle's, loved Danielle, but it just seemed very scripted and very not personal, or people come to her all the time kind of thing. So I went with Amanda, and here we are. So I'm going to talk today about creating your vision and goal setting, because that's one of the most important things you can do, because you can plan and create your entire life if you visualize it and you believe that you can actually do it. I am a huge fan of vision boards, of writing things down. Shauna and I did the 30-day push with Shalene Johnson, and that was an amazing program. It got us both to Emerald. I think you may have been Emerald before that, but it helped me to get to Emerald because it helped you to just think and focus on what you want. And that's the thing, is you can think and have all these thoughts, but if you don't write anything down, if you don't focus on it, then it's just thoughts, and it gets lost in space and other things take its place. So when you actually write it down, I sound so crazy when I say this, but it's in your subconscious mind. You trigger that thought when you actually write it down and your mind is thinking it as you're writing it down, like that does something. Like that's magic right there. So we're gonna goal set together. We're gonna talk about creating your vision. I'm gonna have a lot of questions for you, so you'll want to write these down and answer them after. But you just got to think, like, are you challenging yourself in all aspects of your life? Like, are you actually trying to do these things that you're hearing about or that you're talking about? Are you actually putting the action behind it? And if you're not, it's probably because you just truly don't believe that it's possible. And that's where vision comes in, because you can actually see it and you make yourself believe it. Like, it's a hard practice to do because you have to visualize things that aren't there, and you have no idea how they're going to happen yet. But that's the beauty, like that's the magic of it, right? So starting off, you have to think like, what are your goals? What are you working towards? What do you want? What is your why? And you hear that a lot. You hear everyone say that, like, you have to know your why. You have to have a clear why, because that is your direction. That's your focus. So once you know what you are doing this for, it gives it a whole different meaning. Like, I did this practice with my coaches, and I wrote out mine. And like, as I was reading it back to them, I was like getting teary-eyed talking about it, because you can start to visualize it. That's how your why should be. It should make you excited. It should bring tears to your eyes. And like, when you talk about it, it should bring a smile to your face, because you can actually see it happening and feel how you're going to feel when it already happens. So one thing that first couple things you got to do. So a few questions here. Number one is, what legacy do you want to create? And this question, like when I first thought of it, I'm like, I have no idea what that even means. Like, legacy, I don't really know what a legacy is. And then you had to think about it. Like, these stuff, they're thought-provoking, and they have to be. So then I wrote down, and I just thought, like, okay, who I am and what legacy do I want to leave out there? So my answer was that I want to be a poster child for like not going with the crowd. Like, I want people to know that they don't have to have conventional jobs and live the same lives like their parents did. And I want people to love getting uncomfortable and to teach people to crave it. So your legacy is explaining who you are and what you want to, the imprint you want to leave on the world, which it's hard. But once you get that, it helps you. It's that self-realization. Like, you understand who you are a little bit better and why you're doing this. So then the question number 2 is, this is where you figure out your why. It's, what do I want for myself and my family? And like, I noticed that my entire game changed when I moved out to Calgary, and it wasn't just me anymore. Like, when I was living at home, I was with my parents, and yeah, I was doing this to try and like create a future for myself. But then I actually had to live on my own. And for 2 months, I had no other job but my beach body. And now I'm planning for Mike and myself. So like, he is my why, like our life together, like that's my why. Like, when I see him come home from work and he's like just bent at it, like just spent, like working 12-hour days, like at a job that he supposedly loves, but he's a slave to like these people, So that's my why, is like, I know he loves it and he would never quit, but I want to be able to like be one of those people who retires their husbands or whatever. Like, I want to at least earn enough so that he can go back to loving it instead of having to be a slave to it. So you really have to, it's not just you in all of this. And once you attach other people to it, it makes it like you want it 10 times more. And even I'm planning for like our future when we have kids. Like, I want to be able to be home with them. And I don't want to have to send them off to daycare, or like not be able to cook them dinner or go take them out and explore places every once in a while. So once you attach that little extra to it, it really gives you a more of a push. And then number 3 is, what do I really want to do with the time I have allotted? So this is visualizing. So this is once you are a full-time Beachbody coach, or once you are a part-time coach, or whatever your goal is, you're visualizing what you're going to do with that time. Because you have to already plan as if it's already happened. And then it is a very crazy concept. I totally understand that it is you have to visualize what you already want, and then it'll magically find a way to happen, which sounds crazy, but it actually does. Like, I really recommend reading the book The Secret, because it helps you get in tune with the universe or God or whatever you believe in. I believe in the power of the universe. So whatever you put out there comes back to you. So if you're constantly thinking like of all these good, amazing things that are already happening in your life, it's going to happen. But if you're thinking of like, oh, I'm broke, I have no money, like, and people ask you to do stuff, I can't do that because I don't have any money, you're going to keep not having money to do it. And that's the way it all works. So I really recommend The Secret, because it kind of makes sense of the craziness that I'm spewing. Or even if you watch it on Netflix, the whole video on Netflix is exactly the book. I've read and watched it. It's the exact same thing. And then the next one is, when I look in the mirror, what will I see? So this can be your physical appearance too, because all of it, like, you know, you still want to be happy with yourself, the way you look, or just like, it could be an emotional feeling, like it could be whatever you want it to be. So for me, I put a combination of everything, like a healthy, muscular as fuck, strong and successful woman who smiles when she looks at herself and no longer pinches and pulls at her body. So it can be anything, like it's mental, it's physical, because you always hear people who say like, oh, I look in the mirror and I don't recognize the person I see, like, and that's more of an emotional, mental thing. So it can honestly be any way you want to take that. Next, and this is totally optional, is what type of role do I want to play in my community? That's totally optional, but that's, again, you're visualizing and you're planning for your life here. So some people, like, you know, if you don't want to be active, it doesn't mean volunteering or anything like that, but if you want to be a source for people like in your hometown to come to you for fitness advice, if like, yeah, because a lot of us are from small towns, right? So it's word of mouth, you know, people, when they think of who they want to start a program with or who they want to get healthy with, do you want to be the person they look to? Like for me, I definitely want to go back home eventually, and I would love to open a Windsor Market Council, because we don't have one. We only have in Toronto, or like to go into the States. So that's definitely something I would want to do in my community, because no one else is doing it, and I think it would be pretty badass to be the leader of that. But that's vision, like that's down the road. Like I'm not doing that anytime soon, but I'm planning for that. And then the last one is, what would my life look like if I help 5 to 6 people complete their program? So not purchase, but complete. Because that's what it all comes down to. Like we're fitness first, like we're in the business of helping people. So we can't succeed or be successful if we aren't helping other people. And if you're not helping like challengers, you're not helping people get healthy or get fit or do any of that, like you're not really growing anywhere. Yes, you can. Well, no, you can't even build a team of coaches, because you have to somehow do something to get those people onto your team, right? I'm not a huge fan of just signing people up as coaches. Like I would rather them start with a program and experience it, because how can you help other people do something if you don't experience it yourself, right? So yeah, how would your life change? Like how would it look if you help those people? Because it's rewarding both ways. Like when you there's a lot of people in my first few months that, like, I'll admit, like my challenge groups were not amazing. I would kind of just do the basics. It was all like, and I would copy and paste. I still do that, like from the challenge group guides, but there was no interaction. I was only showing up that one post. Like I wasn't really posting my workouts, my shakes, this and that. So people weren't getting results, and it felt really shitty. I had a lot of people, like I have probably maybe like 60 people in my challenger group, but like maybe only 10 of them are actually, or like 15 of them are actually drinking Shakeology. And that's because I gave them a crappy experience in the beginning. And that is probably one of my regrets. But there's nothing I can do. I still try and keep in contact with them, but they have that It's like when you go to a restaurant and you try the food and it's not good and you don't want to go back, even though like they got a new chef or something or this and that, but you just don't want to go back because it didn't taste good. So why would you waste your money? That's how I feel some of my challengers, my early challengers feel. Like I still talk to them, I still reach out to them, but it's very rare that any of them have signed back up with Shakeology or participate in my groups at all, which is unfortunate. It's bless and release. There's really nothing you can do except learn from it. And I think my challenge groups lately have been pretty badass because I'm more engaged. I'm sharing myself with them. And you do little things like I started doing challenges every day so they get prizes. So that's what you're really trying to do is give everyone the best experience. I rambled off there, but it works. It's in tied with that last number there. But yeah, so when you visualize, you really have to get deep into your head, into your heart, and what you truly want, because we can't do it for you. Like Shauna and I, we're not your bosses. That's the thing. Like everyone on our team, you guys are all grown women. So all we can do is show you what has worked for us, what has worked for our leaders, what our coaches do, what the top leaders in the companies do. And really it's up to you to decide if you want it that bad, if this is something that you truly believe in. Because like, I know for me and I know Shauna, like we bleed Beachbody blue. Like I don't know who I would be if I was not a Beachbody coach right now. Like, and that came after time. Like I started in August and it wasn't until probably February when I started really getting serious and seeing the potential. Like I was still hitting Success Club every month, but hitting Success Club, it does mean something, but at the same time, it doesn't if you're not actually helping those people. If you're just selling challenge packs, you're not helping people, like, because they need that extra bit. Because like I said, those people just fell off, and they don't believe in it. They don't believe in the products anymore. But yeah, so you need to really dig deep and take a second. And if it's something that like you believe in, that you think you can actually do, you have to believe in yourself in order to believe in this business. And you have to be resourceful and go out and find the information. Like we're so lucky that we had Amanda who like is there for everything that we needed. Sorry, that was for my call that was supposed to be now. But yeah, like we're still lucky we had her, that she's there for anything. But like she didn't have that from her coach Danielle. So she had to kick her own butt to check like for trainings, the back online office, and like on your BAT, it says like, stay connected with Beachbody. So what I would do with that meant that every day I would go into the online office and I would explore a new tab and figuring something out, because doing that's being resourceful. That's showing that you're interested, that you want it. Watching the team calls that Fit and Funky does, because they're amazing. Like Danielle just invited everyone to all of her January ones that are amazing. And seeing that this is real life. Like this is real. Like once you I think it happens after you have your first challenger is when you kind of dip your toe in the water and then you keep going with it. And then you're like, wow, like this is actually real. Like this isn't just a hobby. Like this is our lives. And going to live events changes that. Going to Summit changed my life. Like being able to see that and then maybe thinking like, who knows, one day I could be on that stage. Like that's another vision, another thing to put on your vision board. Like you can put anything on a vision board, and that's even more important because that's something you wake up every day and you get to see it and look at it every day. So will be exactly. That's important too. Thank you for saying that, because when you're writing out your goals, you have to write it as if it's already happened. So not I want to, or I hope this happens. It's I am a full-time Beachbody coach. That's how I always write down my goal. Like I am a diamond coach. I am this. I am making this much, or something like that. You have to say it as if it's already happened, because your brain is smart. So if you're writing it that you hope it happens, you're going to keep hoping it's going to happen. And yeah, so back to vision boards. Like I have mine in the other room and I put it on top of my mirror, so that when I get changed in the morning, like it's right next to my closet, like I look up at it. And I noticed that I steered away from my goal because I wasn't looking at it for a while. And as crazy as it sounds, like it did, like I started slipping further from like my diamond goal because I wasn't looking at that friggin' board every day. And I have a big shiny diamond that I like drew and I made and crystal, like I bedazzled it and stuff. And I have on there, like, even just stuff like how Mike and I want to travel. We want to go to Hawaii. I have like Coachella, like I want to go to music festivals. I have my coaches, their goal dates for when they want to hit Emerald. I have that on there too. So I can look at it because I'm putting that extra energy towards their goals. And it's all positive thoughts. And of course you're not going to have, like, you're still going to have the negative thoughts and the self-doubt, but that's where personal development comes in, because you're able to make yourself stronger. So not to say you'll get rid of those thoughts, because you never will, but you can prepare yourself to combat those negative thoughts, or at least turn them into more positive things. Definitely, yeah, if you feel yourself like self-doubt, like, I don't know if I can do this, reach out to your coach, like talk to your coach and be like, this is how I'm feeling. And that's what I always try to stress with my coaches. Like, if your goals have changed, I need you to tell me, because I'm coaching you based off of the goals you told me. So if all of a sudden that's changed, like, I don't want to feel like I'm pressuring you anymore. Like, you need to tell me, and then I can help you in that way. Because being a full-time coach, like, it's not everyone's goal in the beginning. It was for me. Like, that was like dead set my goal. As soon as I started, I was like, this is going to be my full-time gig. I saw my coach do it. So why not? Why not me? Why not you? You know, it's totally possible. And one of the call in Fit and Funky last night, and you hear the stories of where people start from, and it's like, my life isn't that bad. Why can't I? Like, you know, if she came from that and she is where she is now, why the heck can't I do it? Like, you know, I have, and that just goes to show that coaching is not biased. Like, it's not, you know, it's not sexist. It's not based on anything except your hustle and your own personal determination and dedication to yourself and your goals. And yeah, it all comes down to if you want it or not. So I think that's everything I got here. Oh, a couple things. So in combination with that, like deciding if you want it, you have to set rules for yourself as well. Things that you have to do every day in order to like stay at that level, play above the line, you know, like where other people are just kind of chilling, or like you're kind of floating around. Like, I definitely was floating for quite a while. Like, I had a few months where I didn't hit Success Club. I still got challenge points or challenge packs or like Success Club points on the board, but like that was definitely me floating, and I had excuses like, oh, I had family here visiting, and I could have still definitely worked it, but I chose not to. Like, and I still have days when I kind of give myself a like, I don't feel like messaging people, like, you know, but you have to make some sort of effort every day to do something, even if you're not amazing that day, but as long as you're working in some sort of way to get yourself closer or doing something, because you're not like thinking, I've been trying to drill this into like my coach as well, is like, you're a business owner, whether you believe it or not, you are, like, you're a CEO. And I've heard this said before, like Walmart or something, like Walmart doesn't close just because the CEO has a sick day. Like, you know, it still is open. You still have to do some sort of effort. Even if it's not 100%, it can be like 85 or something. You know, you still have to put constant effort into this, because I just don't understand like how people can show up to a job that they hate and like do their best there, but then you're given an opportunity like this to build your dream life, and you don't want to put that much time into it. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. So, it's okay. But yeah, like right now I'm going to a job that like I really don't like, and I'm probably putting in a half-ass like amount in it, because I know that I won't be there for very long, because my goal is I will be a full-time coach. and our team will be a diamond coach. I'm going to pop my 3 emeralds and we're going to pop them to diamond, and we will be I had a goal to be a 2-star diamond coach by Summit, but who knows, if we could be a 3-star diamond coach by Summit, like that would be amazing. So it's all like, it's not just our dreams or our goals. Like we need you, like it's you guys too. Like we can't be diamonds or we can't do this like without you guys. So that's why we do these calls. That's why we do these trainings, because like, it's not just a one-way street. It's a team environment. All of us are working together. We're all working even to help Amanda to get to her goals. That's why we're on like a call tomorrow with Beachbody Corporate. Like, who does that happen to? Like that is, I'm so like awestruck by that, because you see it happening to other people. Like, oh, Christina Delgado's friends with like Autumn Calabrese, you know, and like you see all that stuff and then you're like, I'll never be like that. But you could, like getting calls from like Carl Deichler, that stuff can happen and it will happen. It like when you hustle, people notice it. Like we got noticed on Amanda's team because we are grinding our asses off. And like, I never thought that that kind of stuff could happen to me, but it can. And like, this happening and like even that call yesterday on Fit and Funky just proved and put more visions in my head and more things to go on my vision board of me planning, like I can be the next Danielle Natoni. Like, why not? Why not? I can be as big as her. I can be a 15-star diamond. I can be a superstar coach in the Millionaire Club. And I actually wrote that down yesterday. I was doing an exercise in my Girl Code book, and it said, write down all of your visions. I forget what the word was. And I wrote down my entire life, how I want it to be for the next so many years. And that was on there. I just broke my nail. That was so weird. It's that cold in here. But yeah, I wrote down that I want it, like, I'm going to be a 15-star superstar diamond coach, and I will be in the Millionaires Club. Like, and she did it in 5-6 years. Like, it's so possible. Like, think about that. You could be a millionaire in 5 or 6 years. What other job can give you the chance to do that? No job ever, nothing. So you are sitting on, I've heard this said before too, like you're sitting on $1 million business right now. So are you going to let that go to waste, or are you going to try and get that $1 million? Because I know I'm going to try and get that $1 million. And that the thought of it excites me, because it is so possible for everyone. And that's the crazy thing. Like, it's so possible. So definitely answer those questions, create your vision. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got. That was fiery. I'm heated up.
That was awesome, Fran.
I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything like that.
I do just have like a couple points. Fran kind of hit everything out of the ballpark. So that was really good. I don't really have anything to add on that point. But I do want to say that, like, if you guys are having doubts in your business, or if you're going through a rough time in your life, then that's when you need to lean into personal development. So you want to make sure that you're leaning into your personal development. And that's like, and I wrote this down too, like personal development, like working out allows you to get your body healthy. But personal development is for up here. It's what gets your mind healthy. And it allows you to reach and visualize your goals more than like your self-doubts. And it allows you to overcome those fears and to keep pushing and building and growing forward. So that is all. And that is why I was honestly an emerald for so long, is because I was sucking on my personal development. I was afraid to reach outside my box. But once I started to, I started having people coming to me. I'm adding more people on social. I'm having more conversations. And that is honestly when my business grew and kept growing, because I stepped out of my comfort zone. And then you get used to doing that every single day, and then that becomes your norm. So don't be afraid to push your boundaries a little bit, just so you can keep growing.
No, that's so true, because I went 7 months as nothing. It took me 7 months to hit emerald, and that's something that should happen like that. And it was just because I was afraid. And it's normal to be afraid. It's so normal. But you have to read your personal development. And that's the thing. I wasn't either. I read the Compound Effect for 7 months. Like that's the thing. And it messes with you. And then once I decided that this is what I needed to do, what I wanted to do, every offer that went out was challenge pack only, no other option, unless like there's only been a couple times when I haven't like sold challenge pack, maybe like allergy, something like that. But otherwise challenge pack only. And I always would tell people about the customer to coach option. And if they didn't sign as a coach right away, they definitely signed the second month when they wanted their Shakeology. So always follow up with people too, follow up with your challengers. And when it's coming close to the end of the month, let them know, ask them, like, your order's coming up soon. Did you want to go to the coach discount? Like, I know you're loving Shakeology, something like that. And that's where all of my coaches came from the last couple months, was they wanted the discount. And then I have a couple now who are like, I see what you're doing. I want to buy Shakeology. I want to try this. So it's like, okay, then this is how we do it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. We only have just over 7 minutes. So Emily, if you have any questions, I see Melissa keeps coming on and offline, so maybe she's having problems with her internet. But Emily, you can unmute yourself, and if you have any questions, then feel free to ask.
I don't really have any questions. I saw
that book you read.
Yeah, Put Your Dream to the Test by John Maxwell. My book is like all torn apart and stuff, but it's like the best personal development book that I've read, besides The Magic of Thinking Big and The Compound Effect. Yeah.
Nice.
Good for you. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good one. There's so many, like, it's crazy. I'm reading this book, and it's the one I was telling you about, that you're supposed to read it every week, like the same chapter, the Year of Change. And at the end of each chapter, they recommend a personal development book for it, like for kind of what the chapter is on. So I'm like, oh my God, I have so many to read now. It's never ending. And like, I used to hate reading. Like, the only books I read were Twilight. I love the Twilight. Or
Harry Potter.
Yeah. So, and that stuff, like, it would hold my attention for so long, but I wasn't like the one to go out there and buy all these books and read them all. And now, like, I get excited about buying books, like, and I'm a huge like deal like hunter. So like the Kindle, yes, I had to pay probably like $70 for it, but to find a book for $1, I'm like, hell yeah! This book, give me this book. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're good. I'm gonna hit stop recording.